We have all been through this cycle. You get a sudden burst of energy, map out a flawless, highly ambitious schedule, crush your goals on Monday, and by Wednesday, you are asleep on your desk. Your willpower is rarely the bottleneck here. This sudden drop in motivation typically signals a flaw in task architecture rather than a lack of personal discipline. If you look closely at the top 1% of performers, you will notice they do not possess more grit than the rest of us. They have simply learned how to precisely calibrate the difficulty of what they are doing. They rely on a psychological principle known as the Goldilocks Rule. Sticking with a habit requires a shift in strategy. You have to stop fighting your own biology and start engineering your daily tasks to be as engaging as a video game. Consider why a good video game can lock in your attention for hours, while sitting down to study or clear your inbox makes your mind wander after 5 minutes. Humans process difficulty on a narrow spectrum. If a task is too easy, like playing tennis against a 4-year-old, you get bored instantly. But if it is too hard, like trying to return a serve from Serena Williams, frustration takes over and you quit. This chart illustrates the Yerkes-Dodson law, mapping drive against difficulty. On the left, low challenge brings boredom. On the right, excessive challenge causes failure. Right at the peak sits the Goldilocks zone, where we experience maximum motivation facing challenges on the edge of our abilities. Sustaining focus requires treating your life like a game designer treats a player, constantly recalibrating the difficulty to match your growing skill set. When your skill perfectly matches the challenge, you enter a flow state. The world fades away, and you are totally immersed in the zone. Researchers have actually quantified this balance. To reliably trigger that state of deep focus, a task should be roughly 4% beyond your current ability. But as you repeat a balanced task day after day, your skill increases. The action becomes automatic. If the challenge doesn't grow with you, the habit eventually becomes dull. This reveals the most dangerous hurdle in habit formation. Boredom, not failure, is the primary threat to long-term success. Comedian Steve Martin managed this by spending 18 years refining his act, a decade learning, 4 years refining, and 4 years as a massive success. He survived the repetitive nature of practice by making microscopic adjustments. He kept the jokes guaranteed to get laughs, but expanded his routine by just 1 or 2 minutes each year. He secured enough reliable victories to stay motivated, while taking enough new risks to keep his brain engaged. Elite professionals maintain their edge by showing up to do those same repetitions every day, using these tiny 4% adjustments to stay in the zone long after the initial novelty has worn off. Applying this 4% rule to your own goals requires a shift in how you view progress. First, choose a challenge that pushes your limits without breaking your form. If you are at the gym, grab a weight that requires intense focus but allows you to maintain safe and proper technique. Second, increase the difficulty gradually. You cannot skip straight to the final boss level. Progress demands tiny, manageable additions that build upon one another over time. Finally, monitor your engagement levels. If you find your mind wandering, the challenge has likely become too easy. If you feel overwhelmed, you've pushed too far into the burnout zone. Keep the challenge balanced, stay in the flow, and actively use the Goldilocks Rule to prevent your habits from becoming stagnant. What is one daily routine you are going to adjust today to hit that 4% sweet spot? Let us know in the comments below. Success stems from committing to this